is something Americans have talked and fought about for hundreds of years. Since our ancestors traveled to North America, they fought hard as an untrained army to earn the independence and freedom they deserved. Words like freedom, religious tolerance, and independence are words used to describe the long-fought battle for rights for all humans, no matter their race, color, religion, or sex. Women are one among many who have been fighting for the chance of rights. They fight for a chance to fight alongside other men and women in combat. Some people are convinced that women don't have the physical and mental capacity to fight with men and cannot be in combat overseas. But women deserve a chance to fight just like any man does. Women are just as vital in the military as any man. They've been proving their usefulness since before Equal Rights Amendment even came out. But the Equal Rights Amendment clearly states that women have the exact same rights as men. So why does discrimination towards one sex still occur? According to the United States Army website, women have been proving their usefulness since 1775. Back then, they wounded those who were injured, and they fixed rifles, and they mended clothing, and they cooked for troops at camp, jobs that technically didn't exist until the 20th century. Getting to do these jobs wasn't enough. Doing these household activities was clearly helpful, but it was still dismayed that women could actually do more than that. Mary Ludwig Hayes McCall changed the opinions of some people. After her husband collapsed at his cannon, she went in and filled in for his place and fought in his place. Since then, women nationwide have been proving that their limited choice in occupation was indeed wrong. According to the Women's Memorial website, less than 15% of the military is made up of women. That number is too low, and maybe if women weren't limited to their occupation, they would want to serve their country. Before women can fight in any combat, they need to fight for their rights. The history of women in war shows that they have been proven how useful they are and how useful they can be. But there are some negatives of women being in the Army. One of the most talked about issues facing women in the Army is rape. Some people ignore the problem, saying that having women as a combat is a reason for this, for sexual harassment. Whether women are in combat or not, this problem is still going to occur. The question is, would you rather have a woman be able to defend herself, or just let this problem keep on happening? If women were to be in combat, the threats regarding them wouldn't make matters worse. Actually, it would make the matters better, because women would be at the top of the military, meaning there would be more attention to women's issues. 1 in 3 military females are sexually harassed or assaulted, and this number clearly states that the change needs to happen. Women have been asking for change since they first came to the United States. Abigail Adams wrote her husband John Adams in the code of the new laws, do not forget the ladies, and do not put too much power in the hands of their husbands. Back then, there was not much that any man or John could do, but now there is. The man should not have all the power in the military, but rather share it with the women. Another lady who fought for the equal rights was Susan B. Anthony. She was as fearless as a caged lion and fought for what she believed in and never gave up. After the Civil War ended, she went in to cast her vote for the presidential election. She was fined, tried, and convicted. And she was fined $100, but she refused to pay. She stated that under the 14th Amendment, it defines citizens as all people born or naturalized under the United States. We are all citizens, so shouldn't we all have the same rights? Anthony died before she could cast a vote. But should all the hardships women have gone through, wanting to see equality for men and women, especially in the military, have been for nothing? In 1920, they finally made it legal for women to vote. In the 19th Amendment, they added on that women have the right to vote. This is the only time you'll see women mentioned in the Constitution, until later on. That was long before the Equal Rights Amendment even came along. But finally, on March 22nd, 1972, the Senate passed the Equal Rights Amendment, which proposed banning discrimination based on sex to the United States Constitution. According to the Equal Rights Amendment website, Section 1 of the Equal Rights Amendment states, equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or on any state on account of sex. Slowly, people were coming to the sensible conclusion that women have the same rights, deserve the same rights as men in combat and everyday life. To prevent women from going into combat, Senate expunged the Equal Rights Amendment. According to the New York Times, General Wilma Bott stated her opinion about women in combat. She says that women will serve in the Army. She said, I think people have come to the sensible conclusion that a woman's life is just as valuable as a man's. whether a man's life or a woman's, if they choose to fight for their rights, for America and everything in it, it should be their choice, not ours. Women now make up 15% of the American military and have made it possible for the Army to be all volunteer. In the Senate Armed Service Committee, there's only one 4-star general. According to the National Time magazine, 95% of the men and women who brought up the topic expressed no doubt that women are ready, willing, and able for combat. Many even believe that women should serve in combat too. For example, Command Sergeant Major Darren Bone was amazed at the first woman, an intelligent officer, was deeply integrated. Not to sound like a male chauvinist, but she was smart and immediately respected by all the other guys for her knowledge and know-how. This proves how useful a woman will be in the military. No matter who you are, you know that everyone deserves a right to serve their country if they choose. Equality is an equilibrium. Each side must have an equal balance in the world. Being in combat is a choice, and women deserve the right to serve if they choose. Proven in some of the early existence of our country, women have been fighting for our country and for their rights. For a gender that has been fighting for centuries, there's a time where you have to let go of your views and your thoughts and just do what is right and just to better our country. Please continue to support the women serving in the combat and other hazardous activities. Remember, the heart of a warrior is not specific to any gender.